Here with the Good Morning Portugal show from EXPATSPortugal.com. Let's not mess about. Let's bring her on straight away. It's Feelgood Friday. Oh, should we have a little dance, Jenny? Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it, everybody. Hands in the air. Light as if it's safe. Friday. Oh, careful. Okay, feel it, folks. Feel it in your soul and your body. Oh. Don't be alarmed if you've just tuned in.
With Calmonson and Jenni B.
Whoa. Feel Good Friday. Here, everybody. Jenni B. It is Feel Good Friday, and there's much to feel good about this morning. We're hearing about people who've arrived in Portugal, feeling good about people who are on their way here, leaving today from the Netherlands. We'll get to you in just a moment. But Jenni B, how are you?
Good morning. Bom dia a todos.
Bom
I'm
dia.
very well, thank you. A bit tired, though, but I think that's okay.
Yeah. Are you kind of burning the candle at both ends, the end of summer, going into a restful autumn? I think a lot of people are doing that at the moment, like busy squirrels gathering nuts for the winter. Is that what's going on at the moment?
It feels a bit like it, exactly. I was just thinking this. I think my body feels a bit in preparation mode, starting to get cozy, make everything all right inside nicely so I feel comfortable. Yeah, absolutely squirrel mode. Yeah.
Do you know, I saw a red squirrel for the first time yesterday. We had some real outbreak of nature. Even though we've moved into quite an urban environment, there was a snake in the yard, and I saw a red squirrel whilst out walking the dogs. So beautiful, and I swear it spoke to me as well. And talking of nature, I am in good company. Do you remember, Jenny, about me being chased by a boar? Remember that?
Yeah.
No, and I think you are one of the more sympathetic, even though you're laughing at me again, you are one of the more sympathetic people, because a lot of people just laughed and told me to man up. But it turns out, yes, Shakira. Oh, maybe when you talk like that, she got attacked by boars as well. So I'm in good company. And we've got a lot in common, me and Shakira, because my hips don't lie either. As you know, hers don't. My hips will never lie. You ask Mrs. M, right? But look, this Shakira attacked by a pair of wild boars. Pop superstar Shakira said she was the victim of a random attack by a pair of wild boars while she was walking in a park in Barcelona with her 8-year-old son. The Colombian singer Shakira said the animals attacked her before seizing her bag and retreating with it into. Have they developed opposable thumbs as well? These Spanish boars. She shared her bizarre tale in a series of Instagram stories on Wednesday, just like I did. Shakira, love, you're behind the times. I was being chased by boars a few weeks ago. Before all that.
Is there a headline now? Gucci bag found in the forest of Barcelona.
Well, what good is that? Yeah, exactly. What good is that to a wild boar? A Gucci bag. Honestly, but it's clearly a problem. Be careful out there, but I just feel a little bit better understood now that it's the same thing. The same thing has happened to a global superstar.
Would you want to have a headline about this as well, Carl? If you want, I can make a post for you.
Yeah, okay. If you don't mind putting that on Instagram for me, that would be great.
I just need a nice picture like that from Shakira, like you on stage and.
Well, that's probably the thing to do, is to bring us together, isn't it? Is maybe Shakira and I can start a support group for people who have been chased by wild boars.
Exactly. Wow, that is beautiful.
Okay, we'll work on that after the show. There's another job for our pre-winter list to talk about. Okay, so anyone else gathering nuts at the moment, ready for a colder winter? Look at this. And you with your hoodie on. What happened to us? It's getting a bit colder in Portugal now, isn't it?
It is. The mornings and the evenings, it's just like German summer. It's terrible.
Just like German summer. There you go. And Andrea's here as well. Look, everybody, let's say hello to a few people. Bom dia. Today is the day we head to Portugal. At 5:30, we take our antigen test, then on our way. No one had ever had to say that before that now, did they, in the last couple of years? But that's amazing. Got your message as well, Tom, about that. Bom dia. Quem tem saudades de Portugal? Oh, okay, so midlife crisis is feeling it. Back in wet, fuelless, empty supermarket. Show blighty. Hurrah! Oh, come on, it can't be that bad, can it? Send a picture maybe of you on the forecourt of a petrol station or a supermarket. Come on, cheer up, you old bugger. Bon dia, Thunderduck, Andrea Hogan, and Midlife Crisis. Well talk from Joao F. Joao F is in the house as well this morning on this Feel Good Friday. Oh, bon dia, Joao Ferreira. So everybody's asking this morning. Somebody was asking where you are as well, Jenny. We'll come to that. Midlife Crisis World Tour. Quite honestly, I wouldn't have ever imagined such a situation in the UK. Yes, indeed. Once a mighty power in the world. And now look, there's got to be the same solution for that. It's highly unfair to the general population. And therein that comment lies the great bond between Portugal and the United Kingdom, dating back to the 14th century. And it's sad that for Portuguese people to see this happening in England. Bom dia, alegria para todos, e especialmente para Jenni B e Carle, de uma Amsterdã fria, cold Amsterdam, né, que todos possam ter uma sexta-feira maravilhosa e ao início do fim de semana. So a lovely weekend, a marvellous start to the weekend from Matty. Very loving your Portuguese, Matty, fantastic. And it turns out João is located near Mafra, Malveira, which is about 25 kms north to northwest of Lisbon. Who's been to Mafra? I've often seen it, but not been there. You've been to Mafra?
Yeah.
What's Mafra? What did you enjoy it? And Malveira?
I don't know. I can't remember Malveira, but I remember Mafra very well. It was beautiful. There's the National Palace, which is the palace it's probably least known about in Portugal. Everybody's running to Sintra. But there's a beautiful palace, National Palace in Mafra with a beautiful national garden. It's really worth going there. I'm not into architecture, but it is very stunning. And I went there because 3 years ago, right next to the palace, there's a big official camping, just a parking space. And back in the day, there was free electricity. Not anymore, but back then, thanks to Mafra, yes, there was free electricity.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, and Midlife Crisis went there as a kid, by the sound of it, on a school trip to the palace that you're speaking about, which used to have free electricity back in the day. Matty wishing Andrea a safe and blessed trip. I hope you have a lot of fun during that journey. Yeah, keep us informed. Do send pictures if you don't mind, Andrea and Tom, on your way through. We'd love to see those pictures. Bon dia, Jenni B and Carl from Jim White. Great to talk to you last night, Jim White, on the call. Great job last night, Gilda and Christina from A. We had a fantastic time. 2 sessions last night with the wonderful folks from the migration company that is EI, and helping more people move to Portugal. As Tom is today. Good morning, everyone. Very excited to head to Portugal later on today. Perhaps the easiest move within Europe. One of the wonderful things about the whole EU project and the free movement across Europe that many of us have been able to take for granted until now. Thank you so much, Maddie, from Andrea. Joao F. Midlife Crisis. Mafra region is very beautiful, very green and mountainous with plenty of woodland and, of course, near to Ericeira, of course. What a fantastic part of the world, and not less than an hour away from the capital. Bom dia a todos. Morning, Jenni B and Carl. Trusting all the world. Pretty good here, mate. How are you this morning? How's South Africa this morning? You speak to us on behalf of the whole country, I think, so let us know what's going on over there. From Maxine, Jenni B, where are you located in Portugal, please? Where are the headquarters of Holy Healthy?
Holy Healthy headquarters are close to Alvaiazere. Nobody knows. So Tomara might be some bullet point, something that might be familiar, or Coimbra, and it's basically in the middle between Tomara and Coimbra.
Okay, we've made it famous, old Alviagra. Some people do know it as Alviagra, but strictly speaking, the real pronunciation is Alvaiazere, and it has its own anthem. which Gary has sent to us, and we will play the anthems of the localities. If you have a song of your part of the world in Portugal, send it to us, or anywhere in the world. If you have a local anthem, do send it in, and we'll play it alongside our reunification, a song that's also been sent. Do you know we've had people writing songs for us now, Jenny? Well, you were the first, weren't you, with Feelgood Friday, your own jingle? But that trend has continued, and we have a reunification song as well, which is fantastic. Gary Orgles is here. Great Zoom meeting last night. We'll be sending them an email today. It was a lot of fun as well last night, I thought. Happy Friday from Michael Herone. Heronius Maximus is here, everybody. And a public holiday on Tuesday. Michael knows about these things. So, getting ready for a public... Is that all of Portugal, or is that a local one, Michael? Great to have your company here. And obviously, we'll see you soon as well on the show. Paul Richards in Yorkshire. Ever been to Yorkshire, Jenny, in the UK?
No, I don't think so. I have friends from Yorkshire, but I've never been there. No, I don't think so.
They're a special breed of people, the Yorkshire people. Greetings from Harrogate. Autumn is here for sure. 12 degrees, rain, wind, and very occasional sun. Very occasional. Normal. 4 seasons in a day there. There you go. Paul, not a happy bunny about anyone who's got the inside track with Seth. Drop Paul a message. He needs buckets of good feeling, please. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So there we go. Did you get that, Paul? Does that feel any better? Stay with us. Can I have some of whatever you both had this morning? Whoa! Oh, where's she gone? Oh,
there's the bucket.
Oh yes, little yogurt bucket being repurposed as a joy bucket right now. There we go. Hold on. Right, here we go, Paul. Stand by.
Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3. Everybody's ready for that. 1, 2, 3.
I'm overcome with a bucket of joy. Fantastic. There you go. I hope that worked, Paul. Let us know in the comments. Very good, Jenny. Is that a service you've always offered? Or was that... Okay, brilliant. I'm glad to know. And this is we'll have an update about your project soon, won't we? Not the Rainbow Warriors. What's the new name so that everybody is on the same page now?
Rainbow Guardians it is.
The Rainbow Guardians, and we will have an update this morning. If you've been watching Jenni B for the last few months, you'll be aware of that. And for those of you who don't know about it, you'll be finding out. We need an update on what's going on and how people can get involved. Joao wishing Tom and Andrea a wonderful trip to Portugal. And yes, Mafra is on our shortlist to visit. There are no shortlists, are there? I mean, he means that in by name only. There can't be a shortlist in Portugal. All lists, I think, about going to places in Portugal are, you need a bucket. And Jenny may have one of the other little yogurt buckets available for such repurposing. There we go. How is the Rainbow Guardians project coming along? Okay, we'll do that now then. Any news or updates? Matty is asking.
Matty, so sweet. Thank you so much for asking. And I can't wait to meet you in person, actually. We got to connect. Right, the Rainbow Guardians, guys. So the property that I was hoping to get for the project has been sold. I tried to sum it up with it has been really challenging in the terms of learning that if you want to create something sustainable, you need to take time to create it.
Yeah.
And even though I carry this hard project, this pet of mine, like you said it, so long with me, and it's just whenever the flame for it gets reignited, it's really hard when the bucket of water kind of kills the flame again. So it's interesting to observe, but I'm trustful and faithful that everything happens at the right time and the right place. So it was just not meant to be, this property. I'm building a webpage at the moment with a beautiful lady who supports me there so people can find more information about the project itself. And then it's also easier for people to be able to contribute or not, because it just gives a bit more of an insight. And just last night, guys, I had another brainstorming, and just last night I've been writing down the kind of like an extract of the 7 modules. They will be part of that Rainbow Guardians project, what the kids will learn. Like it was like the last one was spread your wings and fly. The first one was find your ground and root. So things like that. It will be. I find it super cool. So I can't wait to share more of that with you in like more tangible and see what you guys think.
Well, let me tell you, never mind about the kids. Us lot want to learn that as well. So that, you know, the kids have got their whole lives ahead of them. Some of us are getting on a bit, and we need to learn this stuff as well. So can't we go first?
I'll take you on that, Carl. I'll take you on that.
Yeah, definitely. And today we're talking about the challenge of choice, which I think is all connected with this. And you and I, before we came on air, we were obviously thinking along the same lines before we even, you know, got talking this morning. And there's something I want to talk about there as well about, you know, the timing of things, because in this age, we want to do everything yesterday, don't we? If not yesterday, then certainly by later on this afternoon. And we've lost that whole 7 generation thinking. I mean, I don't know if it was ever true or if it was some sort of mythical thing, but I suppose it's accredited to attributed to Native American culture, isn't it? That they had a 7 generation way of thinking about things. So, you know, if you have a project that you're thinking about now, it could come to fruition certainly within 7 generations' time, and that is a long time in the future. That allows you to breathe out. That allows you to relax. That allows a certain sense of calmness, calma, tranquilo, and not this intensity that people feel like, oh my goodness, if I haven't made my targets and goals happen by the end of the week, I'm a failure, you know? And we're all a bit subject to that in this day and age, aren't we? Where did the 7 generation thinking go?
Completely, Carl. You're so right. It's this performance related society we're in, where, like you said, your values kind of defined through the life performance you bring, in the sense of how much money you gather, how big is the house you got, how big is the car, and all this superficial material stuff, which we know, and hopefully everybody learns sooner or later, is not bringing you fulfillment, abundance, happiness, anything you wish for. Or if it does, it's only lasts for a very short time.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, the 7 generations. I remember that it came to my life first time in that sense, that also these, not just working for the 7 generations, but also knowing that, you know, when you feel lost and alone, that there's 7 generations behind you who also support you, and you know, all the power and all the wisdom that they have experienced is right there, it's right behind you, and you can't fall. There's always something to carry you. And I don't know where it's gone. And I was thinking, when you mentioned that, in Germany as well, and you probably know it from the UK, when I grew up, a lot of times there was still 3 generation housing, which is absolutely obsolete now as well. And it not come down as well a bit to the fact of whatever is not functioning well is in the way. So any elderly people who need support, any kind of disabled or handicapped people are not really welcome in our world because they don't function. So I generally found it's really harsh. So even more important that, you know, I mean, so many people come to Portugal, and if I think about myself, you, and so many others, so often it is really the desire and the wish to kind of step out of this hamster wheel, take a break, change the environment, go back into nature, and somehow arrive, just tranquilo. Huh?
Tranquilo, where all the generations are, right? And you're so right. 7 generations ahead, 7 generations behind. If we thought like that, if we started to think like that again, you probably wouldn't ever feel insignificant, would you? And in the society we live in, where it's all getting down to the single units of like me and mine and I and my iPhone and my I this and my I that, rather than I mean, it's not a good brand name to call it the Wii phone. Let's be honest about that. Who would want a Wii phone? Nobody, probably. Some people, but not many. And to think that it took more than 7 generations to create you, that you are the continuation of a lineage of generations of people. How would you feel insignificant and small knowing that? But that's where we've got to at the moment. So back to the multi-generation thinking, I think, is our first recommendation to the house this morning. And that's what we've had this morning, Michael Heron. I think a little bit of insight and inspiration here, and we welcome that from everybody who's tuned in this morning. The breakfast show that dares to think outside the box, that can get a little bit deep and navel contemplating at times this early on a Friday morning. And how's it going to be? Do you think we're going to be this contemplative and inspired and enthusiastic when we go to our 8 o'clock start time? Jenny, what do you think about that?
Oh, that's a really good question. I just thought it this morning. I was like, oh damn, it's 9 and I'm already tired. What is it going to be an hour earlier? And we'd be like, I need matches for my eyes. Be like, yeah, hello, good morning.
It's Feelgood Friday.
It's one of those appointments where you think, do I actually go to bed or do I rather stay awake?
Feeling super good here in Praia de Rocha. Victoria is here. Victoria, can I share that picture on screen that you posted last night? Your first sunset in Portugal. It's absolutely beautiful, but I would like your permission before I share that with everybody. Thank you to everybody at Good Morning Portugal and EXPATS Portugal. Love you all from Victoria. Oh, what great news. We've worked towards this moment, haven't we? And now what? You've done it. What next, Victoria? Let us know. I mean, there's no hurry. There's 7 generations, of course. But how is it for you? What are you going to do? What are the first things you're doing? And what are the first things you're eating and drinking and enjoying here in Portugal? Do let us know. Bon dia alegria from Mark as well over there in the UK. How you doing? Lourdes Olber. Hello, bon dia alegria. I am from Portugal, Lisbon, and I live in Poland, Ratislav. It's a great city. You should visit. Lisbon is in my heart. I miss the sweet light of Lisbon as well. Yeah. And I thought, I was looking up the derivation of or the etymology of the word name Lisbon. And I actually thought it meant like luz boa, like good light. I don't think it does mean that. That's what it means to me. And there is just something about the Lisbon sky, as Lourdes is saying here. But where does that come from, Lourdes and other Portuguese people here? What is the etymology from your point of view of Lisbon, please? Carl, you are not chased by a world boar. You see, here are my detractors. When Shakira says this sort of thing, everyone believes her. What I get is all you did was hear one in the distance. You ran off like a big girl's blouse. Morning, Jen. Carl, I heard some rustling and grunting. Hold on a minute. This is what goes on in Alfa Azra. I heard some rustling and grunting in the undergrowth the other night while out late one night a couple of weeks ago. I thought you would say a couple. I thought you could hear a couple rustling and grunting in the undergrowth. A couple of weeks ago, no messing. I'd gone. Overdrive out of here. So he understands the predicament I was in.
Have I not told you my last meeting with the wild boar? I meet them regularly because one of my dogs loves chasing them.
Seriously, go on. You're not going to embarrass me, are you now?
Well, I kind of got used to it by now.
Oh,
and
okay.
I used to work in a wild park in Germany, so
yeah,
it's
all right. I'm surprised I wasn't scared of the red squirrel yesterday, Frank. What happened what happened the last time you met a wild boar then?
It was my dog ran off in the forest, and it was in the middle of the day, bright afternoon sun, going through the desert that leaves the eucalyptus, it's just like sand, and there's nothing actually for a wild boar. And my dog ran into the woods, and I thought, hold on a minute, that rustling is a bit loud for just being my dog. And in that moment, my dog came out of the forest with the wild boar, and the wild boar was about that far away from his bump.
Really?
Then the wild boar saw me, turned down, my dog came back up. He was still, of course, focused to get the wild boar because it's so much fun. Yeah. And then I stood there next to him, still having my little dog, thinking, what's going on? But he would be like, he will be gone when the wild boar just looks at him. So, and the big one was standing in the forest, and I just, stood on the side, persuading him that, Hippie, come here, come to me, come. Yeah, it's crazy. And I thought, what does it do there? There's no water, there's no acorns, there's nothing what it would be of any interest for the wild boar, but it was still there.
interesting. People who know about these things will tell us, I'm sure. But it is fascinating to think that in these woodlands around us, there are deer and boar and snakes and scorpions just all going about their business in these wooded areas. It's fantastic, isn't it? You're not far from the outback and real wildness in Portugal, I think.
And I think it shows again how adaptive nature is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Unlike us. Yeah. Debbie Forager, great to meet you last night. And John, bon dia todos from Cornwall. And antigen test and Saturday evening, we are saying hola to Braga. That's amazing news as well, Debbie. Looking forward to working with you. Still a European, you say there on your Facebook profile. No one's going to take that away from you. And this is something to be aware of, Debbie Forager, when you're in the woods there on your foraging trips. I'm going to be one of Debbie's first customers on a little foraging outing here in Portugal, and she'll be adapting, I'm sure, to the Portuguese climate. Watch out for those wild boars, Debbie, but you now know what to do. Morning, Carl Munson, run. Morning, Carl Munson and Jennifer Barraco. I am collecting nuts. She's collecting nuts. Look, I'm collecting nuts down here in East Tavira. Happy days. Is that a euphemism for making friends and extending your network? Maybe, I don't know.
That's like between psychologists. That's how you say making friends. I'm collecting nuts.
just meeting other people in the expat community. Bon dia from Praia de Rocha. Yes, Victoria. So glad she's telling us twice this week. You can tell us as many times as you like, Victoria. Bon dia. I feel like this title has been written just for me. Oh yeah, we'll get to it eventually. 9:30 already. I haven't even talked about the challenge of choice, but we will in just a moment. It's always the way, isn't it? Some people know this as well, don't they? Say, he's advertised this title for the show. I'm not going to tune in until about 10 to 10 when he starts talking about it. Can we actually hear from anyone in the UK who can tell us if there are actually petrol stations with lines of cars waiting for fuel all over the country? And I mean what they have seen with their own eyes, not just on the news. Just want the true picture. Well, can't you look at the BBC for that, Gary? I know in Alvazra. I met with Garvo in Casa Benfica there. Superb. So it is gaining ground with world recognition. Remember, I know where you both live, lol. What? Bon dia all. Bon dia all from Mike and Maggie this morning. Carl, I was schooled in England, not Portugal, as my Portuguese vocab will attest. Yes, but a man whose soul is half Portuguese, right? If not more. Okay, got it. Thank you, Jenny. Alvazra, Jenni B. Since Google, every little spot got on the map. That's right, absolutely. Oh, next Tuesday is Republic Day. All of Portugal have the day off on Tuesday. How exciting. We should do something for that. I'll tell you all about Republic Day then next Tuesday. I'll be here. I'll be working. Yes, Jenny, you're my hero. He got it. Covered in Feelgood vibes this morning. Who knew that the old little yogurt bucket could be so useful? Congrats on your trip, Victoria, over to Portugal. How are you feeling now? They are very useful. How many have you got now, Jenny, of those? Do you save every one of them?
No, it was just here. Do you honestly want to know why it's here?
Yeah, go on. No, I don't think I do. But if anyone else asks, you could tell them.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
because I think I know. Cape Town is warm and windy. South Africa is heading into summer weather. Most of the country seems to only have 2 seasons, except Cape Town. We can get all 4. It's like Yorkshire then. We could get all 4 in a day and summer in the middle of winter and vice versa. Amazing. Thank you for that. A little bit of background on Cape Town there. Rebel Mama's here. I love calling you Rebel Mama. I hope you don't mind, Khadija. Hola, bon dia todos. How did it get to Friday? Absolutely. I lost a day this week. Bon fin de semana. It really is sexta-feira, the only day with sex in it. All the best for travels in, guys. If you're unlucky. Jenny, I will live in Bombal somewhere in January. Let me know if I could be of any assistance then, or later on. Maybe we can meet up for un café or a tea there. Fantastic. Michelle's here from Australia. Bon dia from Inishvale. So presumably then, Irish settlers, as there were many in Australia with Inishvale there, or Inishvale. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, Jenny from Gemini. She always tunes in for you. Bon dia. Are there rainbow unicorns for the Rainbow Guardians journey? You betcha. There will be, right?
What a question.
Yeah, go on.
It will be Carl with the little thing on his head. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Who else? Who else?
Paul, WhatsApp me the Panto picture. It's not a big leap from that, frankly. So we've got a lovely picture that is the sort of precursor, I think, of me dressed up as a rainbow unicorn. I'll do that. I'll take one for the team and dress up as a rainbow unicorn for this project, as will Louise, I think. Rainbow Guardians for grown-up children too, please. So there is a demand. Yeah, wait, you kids can wait. A teacher of mine used to say, speak in a way to honour the ancestors and the grandchildren. That's a great teacher. Oh, just dwell on that for a moment. Thank you so much, Jim. Be happy and contented with what we have, because material things do not matter, says Jim and I can live in a shack and be happy. Just give me food and a little yogurt pot as well. I'd rather have my mother living in my house in Portugal with me than have her admitted to an elderly home in Germany. Of course, it will be her choice. As we found out yesterday, and we hope to speak to the lady. I don't know. You might not have heard this yesterday, but there was a lady who got a call from her children, and they're saying, "Mum, hi, yeah. Well, we've been thinking, and we're thinking about when you get older and how you need to come and live with us to to be cared for, to be looked after in your old age." And Mum went quiet. This is Mum now, and said, "Well, actually, you don't need to do that. I've bought a farm in Portugal. I'm going to be going there instead." And she hadn't done it at that point. So put the phone down and then quickly bought a farm in Portugal and now lives here in Portugal. How beautiful is that?
How cool is that?
Yeah, so maybe her children and her grandchildren will be living in that house at some point, and in 7 generations' time, who knows? Thank you, Jim White from Mandy as well. That was beautiful, Jim. I'm just loving listening to Jen talk. Don't we all on Feel Good Friday? Michelle, I've forgotten my promise to you. I am working on it. I feel our money system wants us to be individuals who have to get everything in this life, says Michelle. Good point, Michelle. Yeah, so many of our systems are designed for unitary nuclear life. Everything's just being split further and further down, isn't it? We are splitting the atom, literally, socially, I think. I feel our money system, yeah, there we go, it wants us to be individuals who have to get everything in this life. Joao, you're wonderful for doing this. Tell us more. Okay, I think before we could be here all morning reading comments, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some people have tuned in to hear about the challenge of choice. What's on your mind, Jenni B, with the challenge of choice?
Thank you, Carl, and thank you for everyone. I wanted to ask you guys as well what's on your mind, because I don't know if it's the same for you, but me personally, oh my God, I'm really challenged at the moment. And it seems as if a lot of people around me as well, it just seems as if there's a lot of chaos going on again. And just, I think 2 days ago, I found myself again in the, in my holy, healthy headquarters thinking, chaos brings new order, wind of change. Chaos brings new order, wind of change. Exactly. Just breathe. Just breathe. So, and it's like, why the heck is it constantly, at the moment it's like trigger, 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 trigger. And it's like, can I just get a quiet second? Like, can I just hide in this little bucket here for a second, not to be triggered? And then it's also funny to observe this. And that's why I came to the topic, challenge of choice, because, in every given moment, we have the choice whether to decide and go with how we always used to do it and we ran against the wall, or to try it differently, maybe, be a bit crazy, go to Aldi today instead of Lidl's,
No.
Yeah, I know. I know. But it's this stepping out of your comfort zone and watching yourself. What happens then if you don't willingly do the step yourself? If somebody does it for you, it's really interesting. And thinking about then, try to observe how you do these choices. And I'm asking you guys, how do you make your choices in life? And if you think about the best decision ever yet in your life, based on what impulse have you made this decision?
Oh,
And I want to know that. Nice. So whoever wants to share, please feel free. But it's this, you know, observing this, you see and you learn how much of your decisions you actually just take out of habit because you've always decided it this way. You're just not thinking about it, you're just doing it. And that comes to whether I take the main road or I take the highway to the next city, whether I eat an apple and porridge for breakfast, or I just go with a croissant like I do it and it's easy, you know. And it's all these things, and we have been concluding earlier on, Carlos, too, that is not at the end of the day our physical system a very driving factor in that decisiveness or not, and whether or not to rethink about our decisions. And so how does our audience experience that?
Very good. Let us know. Yeah, let us know. So I think the essence of this is, you know, what is the impulse, right? Where do these decisions come from? What are they based on? Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tell us, because this is fascinating, because a lot of people think moving to Portugal, which is what we're all about, is, you know, helping people move to Portugal and celebrating life when we're here. That's how I see, you know, our community here. And on the rational level, there are lots of reasons to move to Portugal, aren't there? Like, you know, if you get the passport, in the end, it's the 6th most influential passport on the planet. It's a safe country. And there are all these rational things on a checklist where you can go, well, that's a good reason to move there. That's a good reason to move there. That's a good reason. That's not so good, but I could live with that. And that's the rational, logical side of it, you might say. But then you talk to a lot of people and they don't really know why they came here. They just had something from somewhere else, right? So not necessarily up here, but in a different part of their body, their guts, if you like, getting this impulse. I don't know. It just seemed like someone's mentioned Portugal one day, and it seemed like a good idea. I'd never been there. I thought I'd go and have a look, and I fell in love with the place. These are decisions made from very different places, aren't they? Mm-hmm. We can go with the rational, or we can go with the more intuitive, instinctive, gut-based decisions. So let us know, folks. How is this working for you? Maybe, you know, you might want to link that up with how you got to be here in Portugal. But we were saying earlier on, Jenny and I, you know, ideology and physiology are very different things, aren't they? And this is something the Portugal journey has taught me, the Portugal adventure. We came here in a camper van. We thought we were going to go and live in a, you know, the sort of the cliche of the pile of rocks in a field in central Portugal. We live in a townhouse now with a yard. Life didn't, and I don't have a camper van anymore. And confession, I don't even like camper vans anymore. I thought. I used to, you know, this. I think I'm not alone in this. I think a lot of these things that we thought we wanted, you actually get it, and you think to yourself, why am I lying here in the cold and discomfort of a camper van in the middle of the night? And the ideology of it is like, yes, I want to get myself a camper van. I want to be out, you know, I want freedom. I want to be out on the open road. And the reality of it is very different. And what I would say is it's about the end result, isn't it? It's about the feelings you want to have rather than the mechanism for having those feelings. So there are other ways to feel free and wild, aren't there? Other than going to the massive expense and inconvenience of getting a camper van. Now, I'm not trying to put any, if that's your dream, if that's what you live for and what you love, and I know it is yours, I think, Jenny, then I'm not trying to put anybody off that. I'm just fascinated by what motivates people and what we find ultimately, the things that we thought would bring us happiness. It doesn't always work out that way, does it? So why is that? What's going on there?
But you know, it's like when we've been speaking about this money and performance orientated society and the 7 generations. I think one big major issue in that whole thing is that we are so outcome focused. Meaning, you know, if and that's an ego thing, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, my soul thinks in the 7th generation. Like, my soul doesn't really care how much money I make with my business or which business I do or whatever. As long as it makes me happy, it doesn't care.
Indeed. Absolutely.
And so I think it's this detachment of the outcome of whatever there is, even though it's a human trait, of course, that you want to leave something behind for future generations, isn't it? If it's a kid or if it's, I don't know, a foundation or whatever it is, it is something human. And It's interesting because remember, I think it was the last show or in one of the last shows we've been speaking about John Strzelecki and the Big Five and these life goals, like you say, that you make yourself and you think this is like if I can live my dream, I'll have this camper van in the middle of Portugal and I just, open the door, I'm in the middle of nature and it's just going to be great. My kids can play, right? The playground is right in front of the door. And then you do it and then you notice, oh my God, it's terrible. Why do I lie here in the bloody cold in that camper van? It's raining. Everything's full of mud. I can't clean, it's why? So it's also okay then to say, all right, I've tried it, it's not for me, and then cross this and put and replace it with something else you think you want to have in your life. But the important thing is, I find, is to at least try it in order to know it has not been for you.
What can you do? That's how we human beings operate, isn't it? You can't know until you've tried it, can you?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's one of the I was going to say it's one of the unfortunate things of being a human being. That's how this existence that we're in is structured. We live in a world of experience, don't we? And it's very difficult to make your assessment until you've had that experience. There's a dog fight going on. Stop it, Jimmy Choo! Behave yourself. Goodness gracious!
And you know what, Carl? It's so funny because I do live now exactly what you thought you would like, and I love it. But I never planned that. For me, it was just a pragmatic reason to move into this camper van because I moved so often and I was just sick of it. And I thought, right, if it has wheels, right, then everything's ready, packed up, and I can just take it wherever. And that was my reason. And now oh my God. Now I'm thinking any other accommodation is shit for me because I can't take it anywhere.
And that's right. The only reason you need a building now is for your project, right? Not for yourself, but for your project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that's getting down, I think, to the nitty gritty of what our real needs are, what our real motivations are, and thinking about how it's going to make you feel rather than the rational processes. I mean, look at this. This is Feel Good Friday. This isn't Think Good Friday.
Exactly.
Think Good hasn't got a very good ring to it, has it? It's Think Good Friday. Who wants to do that? It's about feeling good. Thank you, Mrs. M. I feel even better now after my lovely frothy cup of coffee has been delivered to me. Mwah.
Morning, Miss M.
It's a situation. Oh, okay. All right. So the 2-year-old has put the dishwasher on again with not an excellent result. Now that comes from his motivations, I think. He doesn't think too much about things. He sees a button and he pushes it. And Mum's not happy about that. It would appear right now. It's bloody chaos here this morning. There's dogs fighting. There's toddlers activating dishwashers that flood and stuff. But we're not going to let that bother us because it's still Feel Good Friday and I'm still feeling good. Another reason to feel good this morning. Hola, bon dia from Capricorn Self. As we go into the weekend, let's hope that today's GMP is going to be a 90-minute show. Well, I don't think so. Today's jazz funk track is Jungle Kitten by Manfredo Fest. I don't know that. Can I share the link to the track? Of course you can. Please do, Capricorn. And I urge you to do that every day. Capricorn's jazz funk pick. We'll do it in that voice. Do you remember that guy who used to say, if it moves, funk it. It's Capricorn 12's Jazz Funk Pick of the Day. Let's do that every day, please. Iris October. Bon dia, finally in Foz do Relo this morning. Iris, you're a lucky woman if that's where you are. Fantastic. I believe you, Carl, says Natalie. Wild boar are a big problem in California. Yeah, me, you, and Shakira. And I was lucky enough to escape from a whole herd. Yeah, that's what mine sounded like. While I was geocaching at dusk, it was scary. But there's a lovely title for your book, Geocaching at Dusk. That sounds so beautiful, doesn't it? Jen, I'm sure you will know. Where can I buy a diffuser over here? I somehow lost a part of mine. She stereotyped you as a person. I know where to buy a diffuser as well. Come on, Jen, where'd you get yours from?
Do you know what the funny story there is? I tried to order one at the big essential oil manufacturer from the United States, starting with a D.
Oh yeah.
And they are not able to send it over to Portugal because with this international trading company, you can't pay with PayPal when you are in Portugal. So,
Really?
so I've been looking for a diffuser, littles, and so they have them every now and then. But because of my transformation tent, I was close to buy a battery-driven one. And then I went to my local. Yeah, because electricity. The
Sorry, the
coffee.
dog's just pulled the computer over now, but we with the show, no, the coffee's fine. The desktop PC, Mrs. M. shouted. It's okay. It's still Feelgood Friday. We can breathe our way through this, Jen. Oh my goodness. Okay. My hard drive.
Chaos
Okay.
brings the order.
Jimmy's come back in through the other door. It's like a sitcom here. He's gone out one door and come back in the other. Oh my God. Okay. Hold on.
I think you need another bucket.
Woo! Another bucket, please. Oh my word! I mean, this is the test of our what we're talking about here, isn't it? You know, like can you come back to the middle? Can you come back to the feel good place? And I think we can.
Peace begins with me.
Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Oh my word, that was quite a thing. Okay, that of all the things that could become viral, that could be it. The moment where the guy's dog pulled over the computer. The show did go on, must go on, and you were very kindly telling us about your diffuser. So, like, what I heard up to was you had a battery-powered diffuser.
No, I wanted to get one because the lack of electricity in my transformation tent. And then the funniest thing, and I just loved it. It was such a nice symbol for our digitalized, technologized society. Yeah, I wanted to go battery. And then I went to the because they were still like 50 euros or something. And I was like, that's what the fuck? And then I went to the local health store and I asked him, and he looked at me and he said, why don't you use one of the manuals, with the night light and just a few drops of essential oil on top? And I was like,
old school. Yes,
you got it, man. You got it.
Yeah.
So that's my diffuser.
Yeah, and you could get that Salario, somewhere like that, can't you? Probably even a Chinese shop will have something like that, and it only cost you like 50 cents or something. Amazing compared to all this electronic battery-driven technology. So Iris October, there you go. And honestly, she's going to be asking you where you can get a dream catcher next, I'm sure. Your comedy is on fire today, Carl. There's definitely a smell of singed something or other in here this morning. My goodness, probably the computer that Jimmy pulled over there. That was wild. Show us. I can't. It was at night, and all I could hear was the Maxine. I know what you're doing there. It was terrifying, honestly. Morning all. So excited to be working with you all on the Expats Plus program. Sarah, good morning. Welcome to you. Yee! She says at the end there. That's nice. Yee! So yes, great to have you aboard, Sarah. Looking forward to working with you as well. Gary Austin, yes, as of Saturday and Sunday when we left, most petrol stations were empty and long lines at the few that still had fuel. So it's official. Gary from Iris. Hopefully this has eased somewhat by now. My goodness. Okay, I am curious. So why is that yogurt bucket there, Jenni B? Go on.
I'm telling you now, I had 2 cacao ceremonies in here, and they're both about 4 hours. And for the first one, I was lying there. It was this beautiful meditative, trip you're going in. And then it was like, okay, and now you finally meet the cacao goddess, and now she wants to give you a present, and I needed a pee so bad. Which in that moment meant that I had to leave the room, go down the stairs, go to the toilet, come back. By then, cacao goddess was gone, present was received. I missed my present. And I was like, no. So I thought, for next time, I'll prepare myself. I'll bring this little pee bucket here. But lucky you guys, it's completely empty.
Well, I was going to
It
ask.
has not been used yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the bucket of joy could have been a bucket of.
But I think that may have slightly tarnished Paul's experience. To think,
No, I don't think so. It's rainbow pea I have anyway. Don't forget that, guys.
Of course you do, and that would be a blessing in its own way, wouldn't it? Of course. John Polke is here, heading over for a week in. Let us know, Paul. Heading over for a week in October. Can anyone clarify if we need PCR tests? As it stands, I think you do, John. But everything is relaxing. As of today, there are further relaxations. So, I mean, it's changing day by day. And I think further relaxation is coming about. So I think at the moment you do. Had all jabs, but really confusing info online. Yeah, no kidding. Some info says yes, some says NHS pass is being accepted, and others say that lateral flow is all that's needed. Pulling my hair out, says John. John, I do believe you need a PCR test, but the beauty of this is that we have a community. She hasn't gone to use the. Has she gone to use that bucket? I hope.
Oh, yes, sorry. No.
First name known of Lisbon is from the Phoenician people who called Aliopo, which meant Aliopo. That's a Yorkshire phrase, if ever I knew one, from José Pedro Martins. Then with other people like Greeks, barbarians, and Romans, turned to Olisipo and then turned to Lisbon. That's for a great little, not story, because I'm sure that's true, but a lovely thing to share with us there, José. Thank you very much. Beautiful. This morning, I queued for petrol at Sainsbury's in Greenwich, world famous Greenwich of the GMT. There was a fuel tanker on the forecourt. Was he waiting for fuel as well? There's an irony. I waited 90 minutes only to be told at 1:30 that the petrol station wasn't opening until 6 a.m. So did you stay there and listen to a few good ones in the car? Capricorn 12. There's the reality. The queues are massive in London. Apparently there, Garvo. Yogurt bucket, of course we want to know. Are you glad you asked now? Irish, then Chinese, then Italians, and most recent beautiful Sikhs. Oh, is that Inish Fail? That's the what would that be called? The social history of Inish Fail. Amazing. What a culture. I'm thinking food mainly. Look at that. You know, I'm not sure about Irish food. No disrespect to the Irish at all. But if you compare Irish cuisine, what would that be with Chinese, Italian, and I don't know specifically the niche of Sikh cookery, but I bet it's good. I mean, that's got to be some of the best cuisine in the world, isn't it? News just in. So thanks for that, Michelle and Victoria. Yeah, thank you, Marty. I am in heaven and feeling the best universe vibes ever. Glad to hear it. That's a lovely thing. These are the pictures then. This is a champagne sangria. Let me just take your comment out of the way so we can see that. So that's what you were drinking. Oh, let me take that out of the way as well so we can fully see this lovely booze that you were drinking last night. Look at that. A fizzy sangria there. Popped the cork last night to celebrate. That's a brilliant welcome, isn't it? And then you had a sunset like this at Praia da Rocha. What a lovely completion and what a lovely beginning of your journey, celebrating all that's gone before and Fizz to see you into a beautiful future here in Portugal. So thank you so much for those, Victoria. That is lovely. So where were we, Jenni B? The challenge of choice. Are people telling us about how they're dealing with choice? I know it was an interesting angle for Louise, who's joined us this morning, of course, and was our special guest yesterday. Carl, with an ice cream cone slapped on his bonds. That's me being a unicorn, I think, there.
I think too.
Yeah, okay, that would work. Lisboa was named Municipium Cives Romanorum Felicitas Julia Olisipo, there you go, by the Romans, and that was shortened to Olisipo and then corrupted to Lisboa. Mild Cove or Pleasant Cove is the translation of that, and isn't it just a pleasant cove? Midlife Crisis World Tour. So doesn't Felicitas mean happy? Alegria and Feliz, right? So happy life in there somewhere from Natalie Great. Or am I completely off base with the Lisbon etymology there? Sounds like you might be. But I think we can make our own myths here as well, can't we? Okay, yeah, Capricorn 12, do give us a good one every day. Natalie, it is happiness. Portuguese is happiness. Felicidade is Portuguese in happiness. It was also my grandmother's name, and she was always miserable. Now, that is a tricky thing, isn't it? I think that's quite, that could be quite a burden that parents give their children, isn't it? To be called joy and have to live up to that all the time, or felicidad. But there we go. It didn't quite work out in that particular instance there. Beverly, good morning to you. Good morning all. My 25-year-old daughter has recently broken up with her fiance and so decided to come to Portugal and live with us. When we came early December, we will need to get her Portuguese residency. We'll have to look into this. How difficult is it, as she won't have a job at first? Well, Beverly, are you residents? Because you can take the reunification route, and you can be singing the song as well. Get in touch with Gilda, Beverly. Have a chat with Gilda, Beverly. A midlife crisis, that's kind of funny. My name means Christmas child, and I'm an atheist. So any more of these? Yes, of course. Natalie does mean that, doesn't it? Amazing. What does Jennifer mean? Do we know? What does Carl mean?
It is, I believe I found out once that it is actually from the English, Irish, Celtic language, and it has been or something like that, but I don't know what it means.
Jennifer. Okay, yes. I stopped listening to the noise of the world. So here's a choice that's being made, because this is a good choice to make, I think, is it not? I stopped listening to the noise of the world. I tried to walk a different route every day to, yes, maybe the same place. Who knows what you will see and the people you meet. Jackie Polly. Yes, there she goes. Always go with your gut, says Jackie Polly there. And I've got quite a good one to go with. I am looking at right now. Does it help? Like the bigger the gut, the better the decisions, I wonder? That doesn't work. In spite of all difficulties and challenges, the Portuguese still pursue that dream of living together with their families, or at least nearby, hence the traditional Sunday family lunches. Yes, and we see that and we love that. We're inspired by that, Joao. Natalie, Christmas Child, says, all my best decisions have been impulsive, pragmatic and questioned by my family, but they worked out. That's the family's job, isn't it, Jenny? Worked out wonderfully. Portugal is the latest impulsive, pragmatic decision, and I'm so happy here. Great, glad to hear it. This is working, isn't it? The instinct, the intuition, the gut. Felicitas in Latin, has a broader meaning, a condition of divinely inspired productivity, blessedness. That's the one we'll go with as well. Then that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Not the happiness that Jenny was talking about before that comes from buying something, but the divinely inspired creativity, productivity, a sense of blessedness, right? Andrea, as a Floridian in the Netherlands, I Googled looking for some place not cold, and I saw it said somewhere not cold in Google, and that Portugal was the Florida of Europe, so we visited last year and fell in love. This is what we're talking about. It's exactly what we're talking about, isn't it? Not the checklist. My fear tells me to look for the safest place in the world. I'm not knocking that. That is one route, isn't it? But this is a different route, and this is excellent this morning. Carlos Lima, hello, my friend. Bon dia to you as well. Thank you so much. We've shared pictures from you this week as well. Thank you. Keep them coming. We have so many layers to peel off to find the real you. A lifetime of outside influences and expectations. So there we go. That's more of that generational thinking, isn't it? You've got all of your life to explore. You don't have to get yourself sorted out in 1 week, everybody, if you need that reminder. It's ongoing. We're a work in progress, aren't we, Jenny?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is, well, what she just said. Could you go back to that comment, please, Carl?
Certainly.
We have been speaking about it earlier as well, isn't it? That sometimes in this very rushed society where we constantly stimulated by something, even if you close your eyes and be still for a second, the first response is still your mind. Yeah. So it takes a bit of time until you actually go into the depth of your soul and you have created the safety for your soul in order to actually show itself.
Yes.
And then these pragmatic, impulsive decisions that have just been mentioned there, I thought about it earlier and more often already, but isn't it also funny that sometimes we need to be so cornered in order to actually go that step? Even though we got this information that this might be a good idea to do already quite a lot beforehand, but we were like, And then when we don't have when it seems as if we don't have another choice than doing this, or run against the wall again, only then we kind of go for it. Or like we said with the dogs or the children, they don't think about it. They just do it.
Yep, they are. If they want to run in and pull a computer over, that's just what they'll go and do, right?
If they want to start the dishwasher, they just push the button.
That's right. So here we are. We shouldn't complain about these things. It's just life beautifully and naturally unfolding right in front of my very eyes here whilst I'm trying to do a live stream. And my impulse to move, hold on a minute, Andrea from Midlife Crisis, wash your mouth out. Portugal is not Florida. He's not happy about that. My impulse to move to Portugal, and Porto in particular, is when my beautiful dog Ruben traumatically lost his eye. Oh, we're sorry to hear that, Michelle. I ordered a steampunk eye patch for him, as you do, from a beautiful person in Porto. It started here. Isn't that fantastic?
Beautiful.
Yes, this is the truth, isn't it? You've got all that rational stuff, all those decision-making processes, and this is the real deal, everybody. Natalie, you said it well. I feel like I want to be my best self here. Oh, this is so lovely. I found out so much about myself on this journey, right? Nothing wrong with trying things, giving them up, and moving on. Well said, Louise, our guest yesterday. Our decision to move was definitely emotional. We came on holiday in 2019, says Beverly, and who was that in the picture with you, Beverly? And after a few days, decided to move out, as we just felt where we needed to be. It was where we needed to be, if even just for now. That's a good point as well. It doesn't have to be forever, does it? Because it can't be. So we got a quinta and residency a year ago, and we can't wait to start our new lives. Well, reunification is the way ahead for your daughter, I would say. I'm not the expert, but take a look at that, Beverly. And it sounds like a plot twist in her life. It has created a new situation here that you may all benefit from. Isn't that beautiful? Quite amazing. And you can imagine, can't you, the postcard home, Beverly, the maidment folk here. We're in Portugal. We like it. We might move here. What? The folks back home. My idea of camping is opening the curtains in the dining room. That's great, Thunder. So you don't have to go to all the trouble and hypothermia, etc., of the camping experience. You can have exactly the same thing in the morning, just making the zip sound effect, and just go, oh, it's another beautiful morning here on the campsite. And look at my lovely view of Lisbon. That's fantastic, Thunder. Very, very good. Other people will be doing that tomorrow morning. Buttons are not toys. No, it's true. It is true. I keep telling him that. I'm finding it, I feel exactly the same as Jen. I may need to come and get some camper van living tips. So, solo mobile 50 plus. That's the first tip. Follow me on Instagram for more tips. Well, and the thing is, you get to eat the yogurt first, don't you? And it's pretty good yogurt, I have to say.
But the thing is, I don't even eat it. I don't even eat it from my neighbors. I don't eat it.
Okay, well, you can create a deal with somebody. We can all get a benefit from that pot. I made a commitment to a decision. Sorry, Gary's comment is so big. We're just
so big.
Gary, hello, everyone.
Gary,
help! We're being squashed by a comment. I made a commitment to a decision I made when I reached 55. I would leave the UK to try a different life, come what may. Now these goals are great as well, aren't they? And for people that works too. Hi Jenny. Many times I could have been deflected from this course, but once I commit, it will be done. And I know that about this man. You know this man, don't you? You know this is how he operates. And when he says he's going to do something, he does it, right?
He does it.
I have a partner who trusts my judgment, which is helpful, and things usually work out right. And isn't that beautiful? They've had a life together to find that out about each other. Sharing this journey is twice as nice and truly wonderful. I don't have anywhere back in the UK. I cut the cord. He burnt his longbow, and I'm fully in for the ride. Amazing, Gary. I mean, I never thought about that either, about having anything back home, as it were, home in inverted commas now. Lots of love to you and Linda this morning. That's great. Thunder, just don't open the window. You don't get diesel fumes, do you? Well, actually, you do, don't you, on a campsite when someone starts up the camper van next door to you? It's just like being in.
No, but whenever I start my camper, it's like that's the smell of freedom for me. Like diesel is like, okay, let's go.
The smell of exhaust, the smell of freedom. Aren't us human beings funny? Great idea, Capricorn 12. Share the link every day. I bought a diffuser from doTERRA. There we go, and it's not any better than a cheaper one from Amazon. Oh, that review hurts, doesn't it? But doTERRA there this morning. Good essential oils, no question about it, but maybe
Yes.
not the best diffuser to buy. I got my diffuser from one of the Chinese shops. So there you go. I bet it only cost €1 or something as well. Jimmy, behave. You tell him. You tell him, Louise. He'll listen to you. Stand up, Carl. What? What was that? To the wild boar, or to see if I've got trousers on this morning? What does Maxine mean? I wonder. Carl, today you look like a captain controlling his ship through a chaotic storm. It's so true. It's been a journey. I'm exhausted. Most Chinese stores will have them absolutely right, Maxine. And we should do a show all about Chinese stores because they are a particularly Portuguese phenomenon, aren't they? Too much information. I can't eat my Greek yogurt now. Some people have been put off yogurt for life after this morning's show. Jenny, have you been to Momento Zen Esoterica store in Pombal?
No, but when I come and visit you, I'd love to go there with you, Matty. How does that?
Diffuser shopping. It's like a scene from Zoolander. Let's go diffuser shopping. John coming over via ferry into Spain. They only checked our NHS app vaccination confirmation. That was it. Now the thing with this is I think you have to go with what the kind of overall guideline is. And people have said this to me. They've gone to great expense and effort to get tests, and they've just been waved through. And people are saying, "Hold on a minute, I paid 400 quid for this lot. You're looking at it.
You look at it now.
Look at it. Longer." So yeah, I think you have to be well prepared, even if they don't actually ask for it in the end, which seems to be what's happening. Love that fizzy champagne sangria. Let's have a look at that again. Yes, it is a thing of beauty, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to be a while before I can drink something like that again, but I could have the virgin version of it, I guess. Absolutely, Gemini, I agree with you. Jennifer, she who pees in bucket is the Celtic translation, apparently. That's so... It turns out it's absolutely true. Elaine, godly has something to do with the land, not religion, as some believe. My God is within me, she says. Oh, yes. Where else could it be, right? My intuition is my guide. Fantastic, Elaine. It's the fair one, as well as the one who pees in a bucket. Jennifer, the fair one.
Oh, I am. I always say I'm the one you love and you hate at the same time.
So fair in every sense, firm but fair. Fair in every sense of the word there. My name, Matthias. Matty means gift of God. We knew that. We could feel it. And stop believing in a single particular God a long time ago. I do believe in a higher power energy, which is in everybody. We just stop listening to it. Yes, Matty, I think we're all on that page this morning, aren't we? A lot of Welsh is called Jennifer. Okay, so very Celtic name there, Jenny. Rumi says there are 100 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Absolutely. And that's something else you can do while you're camping, of course. And that's why I think people like it. Whilst I was in Castanera 2 weeks ago, another big one. It was my it was my birthday, and the locals were so lovely. I offered a round of drinks for them all. I was warned of the cost of such a lovely gesture and began to worry if I had enough money on me. She was joking, of course, and the round was 70% cheaper than the same round in the UK. Can't wait to live there. Feelgood Friday, Saturday, Sunday, etc., etc. Yes, Gary, and forever now known as that bloke who buys a round. But every time you've set the bar high there, my friend. Every time you go walk around Castanera de Pera, people will be expecting that now. Must go. Love the show. Lots of love to you and to Ruben. Michelle, thank you. Happy weekend, everyone. Yes, some of us have got other things to do. Well, deal appointment, not a date. Okay, that's the diffuser thing. My name is Randy, which means, well, never mind. Haven't we all wanted to be called Randy at some point so that we can just walk up to someone and say, "Hi, I'm Randy"? Or is it just me? Haven't laughed so much in ages. Fab show, guys. Same here. And cried. My computer, my kitchen floor, all ruined. Bon dia. Have a great Otobro. Oh, thanks, Margarita. Yeah, so a bit of vocab there. Otobro. Okay, so maybe hold a bit. No, Carl, you missed my former comment that related to going to the. No, I think we're on up to speed with that. That you're going diffuser shopping at some point, I think, in Pombal. Diffuser shopping in Pombal. We want to see the picture. Okay, so we can put it on the show today. There you go. All right. So concluding thoughts then on the challenge of choice, Jenni B from Wales.
Hello? German is not be nice, but don't put me into Wales.
Oh no, don't start with that.
It's a bit of nation pride here.
Okay, nothing wrong with being Welsh. Helen T.
We all from planet Earth, aren't we?
You say that now.
Let's put it this way.
After raising a question about the Welsh nation, loving the joyful chaos here this morning. It's the only way we seem to roll here, Helen T. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. May joyful chaos reign. So, okay, back to Jenni and the challenge, the transnational view of the universal global view, person of the earth, of the universe, challenge of choice. Jenni.
I would say if we draw a conclusion out of the beautiful things people have shared and contributed and what we both have been saying and experiencing, is it not for us all to really take a moment and take a deep breath and sometimes even, go into dialogue with yourself and with your soul, but give yourself these couple of minutes of wellness a day and just close your eyes and check within. And some things, we invest so much energy in to wreck our heads about how to figure out how this will work. And I think in these moments, it's about taking a deep breath, leaning back, letting go of control, and trust in the flow of life, and that you will take the right decision according to what's best for you in your life.
Oh, what a blessed relief that is as a decision-making process. We can get the old paralysis by analysis, can't we? And become too in overthinking things. It's what we do as humans, isn't it? But as Jenni's saying there, you can give way to other faculties and trust that you'll be making good and right decisions. I've heard it described, Jenni, as well, the biggest yes. What is the biggest yes when you consider the range of options? Not what's the best decision in the rational way, but what's the sensation of the biggest and juiciest yes of the options that are available. And then we can live our life based on those big yeses, can't we?
But like you said, I think for me, if I'm really not sure and I just can't get around, I think about the different outcomes and I picture the situation and try to feel how I feel with the individual outcomes. And then it's pretty easy because, like you say, your body gives you a clear yes or no.
Yes, back up the track. Yeah. Okay, last few comments then. Thank you, Jenni, for that. Jenni is not that bloke from the Bible that travelled in a whale. No, is that Cole Porter? Now Jenni, he lived in a whale. She made a home in a fish's abdomen. Jenni, she lived in a whale. Haven't had such a good laugh for ages, says Joel F. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Yeah, but from Samantha to you, click that thumbs up button, says Thunder. The show is truly worthy. Thank you very much. The truly worthy show. We'll have that on our pack shot as a testimonial there. Truly worthy. Thanks, Thunder. I really appreciate your support and your attendance here every day. Good on you, mate. So true, Thunder Duck. Jeff agreed. Hey up, Jeff. Great to see you last night as well. Shani, you said, look, I haven't seen her for ages. Born to you. Uplifting to feel so many good vibes through you all. Thanks, Shani. How are you doing? No is easy. Yes, that's a different story. Very good. Very pithy. Good luck with your house repair during the weekend. Yeah. Love your sense of humor. Can't say this enough. Well, the thing is, people are saying it's been a funny. Yvonne's saying this. What a funny show today. A truly Feelgood Friday. People are just watching our lives and laughing. I mean, it's not a joke that you pee in a bucket, is it? It's not a joke that the computer gets pulled over by a dog here. That's just our lives, isn't it? But we're glad to have been of some mirth and merriment to you. Bon dia, uplifting. Oh, yeah, okay, Johnny, we got that. That's right. I'm reading that again because I love it so much. The good vibes of the Feelgood Friday. Portrait of Jenny by Nat King Cole. Maybe that's Gary's pick of the day, talking of playlists. Joao F., look at this, especially for you, I think. Schönes Wochenende, which is that how you say it? Wochenende.
Yep. Wochenende.
Wow. Wochenende. Still
Very
sounds a bit. Yeah. Lots of love, gorgeous people from the Facebook user there. I wonder who that is. But lots of love right back at you there, Facebook user. Jenny, have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Enjoy Republic Day, I think it was, we were told, right? Next Tuesday, public holiday in Portugal. We'll be back on Monday morning and finding out how your weekend has gone. So we'll be here. Thanks again, Jenny. Keep us informed. When that website gets launched, do let us know, won't you? Thank you, Jenny and Co. Have a nice weekend. And what a great show, says Louise. Ciao for now, folks. It's been amazing. You've been amazing. Have a super duper weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you all so much. Much love. And I'll see you next time. Enjoy life. Don't forget, peace begins with you. And it's all here. If you doubt, in case of doubt, consider your soul.
Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me.